Hi everyone. Hello, hello. I don't think I was here last week, was I? Oh no, my craft room was in disarray, wasn't it? Um, just let me know, send some love hearts if you can hear me. I like them love hearts. I'm getting some, so I'm gathering you can hear me. So let's say some hello. So Hazel, hello. Nana Kim, good afternoon. Nanny to the girls, hello. Diane, good evening. Good evening. We've only got Diane for a little while. She's got a very important meeting coming up. PJB, Sampa Pam, hello. You can hear me. Ben, oh, look at that. Um, there's loads of love hearts. You keep that up. I love it. Absolutely love it. So how is everyone? It's been a couple of weeks since I last saw you, so hope you're all doing really, really well. Normally you would see my project here in front of me, but I haven't done it. I haven't finished it off, so we're gonna put it together because I've been so busy. But normally I would create one and then photograph it and then recreate that one here. But because, if I bring in just this little bit, so because this takes quite a while to do, I thought I'll leave that as partially created and then I'll put this bit together through this live. Obviously, I will show you how to create that, but it takes a long while to put all four pieces together. So what I'm going to do is, and I'm going to do it in white as well, so you can see me, see it a lot better. Nicola, hello. Teresa, hello. Samantha McDonald, hello. Welcome. So I was just saying, I'm going to do this in white and I'm not going to do all four sides because it takes quite a while to put together. It's not incredibly hard. It just takes a while to do it. So you don't want to see me for the next 30, 40 minutes putting these four sides of these bellows together. So I thought I'll leave that semi-done, show you how to do it in white cards so you can really see what I'm doing. And then we'll sort of skip on to sort of the blue Peter here's one I created earlier. um, Lynn Martin, hello. Laura Staff, hello. I will be mainly watching as my hand splints restrict. Oh, yes. No, pain isn't nice. I was just going to say, I hope you're feeling a little bit better, but it doesn't sound like it is. So, yes, listen to my sort of inane, droning on for the next hour. That'll well take your mind off of the pain. um, so I'm back the other way round now. I mean, the last time I got some new storage, I turned all my sort of craft room round, and I've put it back now because it feels so much better like this. I've got some lovely IKEA Kallax units, and I've got one right in front of me here, and it's separating me from the rest of the kitchen. So it feels like I've got my own little snug here. Um, Oh, hey from Norway. Hello. So that's Anne Marie. Less 55. Hello. Crafty Chimp Caroline. Hello. You just came on now. Or was I a little bit? Oh, I'm always a little bit late. Either my technology is or I am. But I'm always a little bit late. um, so that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be creating one of those beautiful cameras. And I said, didn't I? I got the inspiration from these papers. So this is a box that I've just a simple box that I was putting together. But this is the particular piece of paper from this collection that I took my inspiration from. So I saw this. Actually, I've seen everything. I really want to make one of those. I really want to do a typewriter, one of the old-fashioned telephones. I really want to do them all. But this was sort of the easiest to start with. Teresa, I love the full 6x6 Kallax system. I love it. Yeah. So I've got what I've got 8. I've got 24 in front of me. I've got 24 behind me. I'm just waiting on some of the actual, the storage boxes to go in, and then it'll be all done. Really easy to put together as well. Even I nearly did it all by myself with one of them. Ben, don't say nothing. So that is the inspiration that sort of came about. Well, this project came about from it. I just thought, yes, absolutely. So I searched everywhere, searched Pinterest and things like that, because I was sort of looking at cameras and trying to figure it out. And then I thought there's got to be a tutorial somewhere. And there's quite a few on Pinterest that show you how to put these together. Some are like reading, I don't know, some unknown language. It was really hard to figure it out. But I did find one lady. Who was it? I can't remember, but she showed the way that she showed me to do it, and another lady. I sort of combined those two to to make this. So I've tried to do it as easily as possible for you, and it is easy. There's just lots of score lines, obviously, and then just sort of folding it back. It looks harder than what it is. Obviously, I'll be going through it in a minute and showing you. Um, Anne Marie, lol, didn't remember the name on Facebook or YouTube, so I went through Messenger to your profile to the YouTube post. Connie T, hello. Sorry you're running behind. So we'll be right with you. That's quite all right. We will let you off. We will absolutely let you off. So I think what I'm going to do, Matthew Cox, hello. Late again, that's all right. It's in my little gang. We're all always late, and I think that's all right. Betty, hello. I'm glad you've joined. Let me move that. You don't need to see that, do you? Right. So obviously, I'm using this beautiful Raven and Writing Desk collection. You're going to be able to use any collection that you want. It doesn't have to be sort of dark and moody. If you're using your white card and you want to use obviously another collection. As much as I'm using my papers, you can use any paper. I do a lot. In fact, I think 99.9% of my tutorials are sort of craft or stash busting, in a way. So sort of using your stash that you've already got, for the simple fact that I very rarely use dyes, and I very rarely use all the latest stuff, which you absolutely can. But I think it's nice to see that we all have the paper and carding. So I think it's nice to see lots of tutorials, lots of stuff going on where all you're using is sort of the essentials or the basics that you've got, and you can still create an amazing project or project, however you say it. So yeah, I mean, I am using some dies today, just some circle dies that I've had for years and years. So besides that, it's just your paper and card really that you've already got, if you haven't got mine, that you've already got in any way, because we need the card, we need the paper. It's all those other stuff that's so expensive at the minute, but we need it all, don't we? So I sort of pride myself on the fact that I don't feel like I'm forcing you to buy the latest stamps and the latest dies and the latest whatevers. So it's nice that we're just using sort of simple basics that we've got in. So I'm going to move that to the side, because what we're going to do is I'm going to bring that bit back in. We're going to start with this. So I'm going to show you how to put this together. So you are going to need 4 pieces of card. Now I'm using a 200 GSM because it's a nice lightweight card, because we need to manipulate it into all those little folds and things like that. So if you're using a 250 or 300, it gets a little bit hard. It gets a little bit awkward. Let me just move that a little bit. So what I'm going to do, what have we got? This. No, I don't need. I couldn't decide then if I needed my scoreboard or my trimmer. And I think I need both. Where's my trimmer gone? Oh, see, I've tidied up. Oh, it's there. I tidied it up into its wrong place. Right, so you can't really see, which is absolutely fine. So it is 10 inches by 4 inches. And at one end, you're going to just get your pencil and your ruler. Just bring in this one. And at the bottom, you just want to measure 1 inch in and put a little notch, a little pencil mark. So 1 inch in from that side and then 1 inch in from that side. So what you've got is you've got 2 inches in the middle. And then all we're going to do is either with your scissors, your craft knife, whichever way you find easy, that 1 inch notch there, we're just going to cut this on a diagonal. And then we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. Okay, so what you've got is that lovely, you've got those 2 cheese wedges that you've cut off. You don't need those anymore. Pop them to the side. So this is what you've got. Again, I've got score inches all the way up at 1/2 inch increments. So every 1/2 an inch, you want to pop a score line on there. You're going to need 4 of these, because obviously it's got 4 sides. And then I'm going to bring this in. You can pop those score lines on before or after. It's like entirely up to you. So literally, you're just going to pop it on there and you're going to score at 1/2 inch increments all the way. And then what you're going to do is, I'm just using my markings here on the side of my scoreboard. But if obviously you've not got that, if you just want to bring your ruler in and all you want to do is you want to measure or again, pop a little notch, or a little pencil mark at 1/2 inch. So just a 1/2 inch in from that side, we've got a pencil mark, and a 1/2 inch in from that side, we've got another pencil mark. Turn it all the way round. And again, I'm just using my markings down the side just to measure 1/2 an inch, 1/2 an inch in from that side and 1/2 an inch in from this side. So you've got a 1/2 inch, at 1/2 inch there and there, and we're going to put a score line all the way down and meet those. Those are going to meet up. Words today. You'll have to bear with me. Michelle, is this why my cardstock is cracking? GSM is too high for projects. It really depends on the cardstock that you're using as well. I've got loads of cardstock from Hunky Dory. Even there, I think some of theirs goes up to 310, doesn't it? And it doesn't crack at all. Now I've got my Crafter's Companion black cardstock, and that's the 300 GSM. And when I score that, that doesn't crack either. But I bought some black cardstock just from somewhere online. It wasn't a name, it wasn't a craft company, it was just a paper place. And when I score that, that cracks. So I really do think it's where you buy it from. So yeah, my Crafter's Companion black, white and craft, I don't have any trouble with it. My Hunky Dory, I don't. But this random place that I got some black cardstock from, it cracks. And again, I think it just depends. I think if you've got card and it's cracking, is it CCs? Ah, right, okay. Oh, I don't know then. It depends again what you're doing. If I'm using a 300 GSM for this, it is going to crack. If I'm just creating a gift box, what I would suggest is probably score both sides. So obviously score that side, turn it over and score both sides, because what it's going to do is it's going to bend those fibres a little bit more. So when you do fold it, they're going to bend round that corner rather than crack. So if you score on both sides, sometimes that helps a lot better. Right, so the 1/2 inch mark there and there, I'm going to put it on here and I'm going to score it down. So I've got that black mark, down that 6 inch mark on my scoreboard. So I'm just going to use that. I must admit, I've never had any trouble with my CC cardstock cracking. But maybe swap, maybe try somewhere like Hunky Dory, somewhere. Someone mentioned something the other week, a place to get your cardstock from, and I cannot remember where they said. But there's lots of. Is it Pink Frog Crafts? Um, is it Pink Frog? I think it is. It's they do lovely cardstock. Uh, Pink Frog. I'm sure it's Pink Frog. Right. So what we've got now is I'll draw the line in with my pencil so you can see it. So we've got a line here. Not a very straight line, that pencil line, but at least it means that you can see it. So there you go. Can see at that 1/2 inch mark all the way down, and maybe you can't see all my score lines, but 1/2 an inch all the way down in Pink Frog. Yes, thank you, Hazel. Um, I've got some score lines. Now, what we want to do is I'm just going to fold those over so you can see. Do you know what? I bought a pink mat, didn't I? What did I do with my pink mat? Bear with me. I did buy a pink mat. I knew I bought one. Right. I'm just going to move my Tim Holtz one because the white is a bit bright. There we go. You'll hear a crash, bang, boom in a minute. Let me turn that round. Right, that's better. Oh, you can see that better as well, can't you? Must just be too glossy. So we're going to fold that in, and we're going to fold that in. So what you've got now is this. Flatten it back out, and where is my pencil? It's right there. So I've got 1/2 inch score lines, so I'll just pop some pencil on there just so you can see what I'm going to be doing. So from the top down, from here, we're going to put a score line in like this, and it's going to go all the way down. So let me bring in, I'll put that away as well. See, this is why I don't tidy up. Let me bring in this. Because what I'm going to do with my scoring tool is we're just going to put a little emboss all the way down. So turn it round. So just from that line, so from the top out, and then just in a zigzag motion all the way down. So I'm just going to do this way first. Once I start to fold it all, you're going to see it so much better. And then that way as well. So I've got this because it means that I don't have to get my scoreboard out and try and figure that out all the way down. So then what I've got is they're all going to fold. Can you see? So I'm going to have a score line. We're going to have that concertina going all the way down. I'll just fold a few to show you. So you can see I've got a concertina. So you've got mountain, valley, and you've got the same on the sides because this is going to fold, and this is how we're going to put it together. So these are going to fold down, but what I also need is I just need to, all your score lines on here, just give them a good burnish. And because I'm only using a lightweight card, I can do it like this. I don't need to worry about putting it back on my scoreboard or anything like that. So from in those 1 inch increments, we're just going to very carefully or very gently. You want to need sort of a little bit of teasing into place. And what you will get, so I'll just do a few for you, and then we're going to finish sort of scoring this all the way. So we'll just pop it on there. So much easier and quicker to do it like that. Because then what I can do is put it on here and flatten it, squish it all into place, and it's going to be nice and even all the way. So I've got this lovely concertina. We've got this side that's going to fold over, and we've also got all those zigzags that we've scored and burnished. Just burnished. We didn't really score much, did we? So you're going to do that all the way down on both sides up to that score line. Oh, yes, score line, pencil line, all the way down. So let me just finish just this one side. So you can see what I mean about how it's not exactly hard. It's just there's lots in it, lots of scoring, lots of turning it round 3 million ways. So if I pop that down now, you can see how some of them are still popping in. You can see straight away that you're getting sort of this where is it? It's this side, this edge, which is exactly what we're wanting. So you're going to have 4 pieces of this. You're going to do exactly the same to all 4, but what you're going to do is on 2 of them, you're going to start the top with that mountain fold, and then the one that's going to go next to it, the top piece is going to have a valley fold. So if you sit them next to each other, you're going to have one with a valley, one with a mountain, valley, mountain, because they need to alternate to sort of fit and sit together. So I'm going to bring this in because this is 2 of them. So you can see how that one's got a mountain, but that one's got a valley. And then this mountain obviously would go to this side. Now I know it looks a little bit weird at the minute because of you've got all those score lines in. So what you need to do is you need to make it nice and flat again. I bring this way because I've got my mountain, got my valley. Oh no, I've got my mountain. There we go. Oh, because I need to score those, don't I? That's all right. So bring it back and flatten it nice out. Once all those score lines are in there, they're going to go back together very, very easily. I'm going to have to go. My family have arrived. I'll record it. Night, night, everyone. Well, thank you for joining, even if for a short while. That's quite all right. Clarice, hello. Connie T, sorry about that. I'm here now, eating dinner again. It is that time, though, isn't it, for some of us? I've been waiting to see this. It's an interesting project. It is. And it's beautiful. Once it starts to come together, it really is. So that 1/2 inch that you can see, I've got it here as well. It's going to go on all 4 of them, on both sides. Flatten it out, nice, and as flat as you can get it, because what we're going to do is we're going to obviously glue those 2 together. Now, if you don't flatten it out, it ends up sort of not sticking together exactly where it needs to go. So I'm going to bring in red liner tape because it's a little bit quicker. And I want to follow that line. So this is I think it's 1/2 inch, isn't it? It is. So make sure that goes on nice and flat. And then trim that away. Give it a right good burnish. And then Angela for claps, I were going to say. So sorry to be late, but we'll enjoy being here now. Well, welcome. It's quite all right. Most of us were late anyway, so it's the late show, isn't it? The late club. Right. And I'm going to pop this, and we're going to follow that line. I don't necessarily want to line that bottom up with that bottom because it's going to go on, where you can see, it's going to go on an edge, an angle. So pop that on, that corner right to the bottom. And follow it up. So you might feel like you need to pull this up a little bit because it's just, again, all those score lines are just making it want to curve. You can see, so as soon as I put that together, you can see that it's wanting to curve. So remember, mountain, valley, mountain. Now this is where it takes a while. So if I pop that there. Okay, so in fact, I will show you. You're just going to bring two of these up like that, two of your mountains, and then when you make sure you all those score lines are really, really important because what you need to do is you need to squish them together. So if I bring that in, okay, it's going down and that's going up. But what you're going to find is when you've got more, the first one is going to go really easily. When you add your second, well, your third one, you're not only having to remember to sort of do these ones, that this is going to need sort of, you're going to fold that, then fold that one, then fold that one. But you can see that it all will come together perfectly. So this, what do you say? Mountain, valley, mountain. So let me bring my mountain up. And that's my valley. So as I've got one, I'm going to bring two together and I'm going to follow it. Okay. So remembering that that's going to fold over. So I'm going to follow it and I haven't got my score marks here. I did them on the other side. So I might end up making a bit of a mess, but that's quite all right. So bring those two together and then you will have score marks there, those zigzag ones. I don't have them, so I'm just going to pop them in. So fold that back away, and that is going to pop in there. We'll do the score the other way. I think I just did the score the wrong way. So again, so bring those two from that side and work your way across. And then it will all fold and start to angle. So then this one is I'm gonna do exactly the same. I'm gonna do it on this side because when you're doing your second one, it can be a little bit harder, and because I forgot my score lines. So I've got my zigzags here. You can see them, can't you, really, really well. So from this side, I'm going to bring those two together, and that's going to go down and, oh, bear with me, there we go. Down and up and down. And then you can see, but don't forget that it's going to fold as well. So you can see that that zigzag starts to come together. So if I bring these, just bear with me. I'm going to take this one off purely so I can show you just a little easier. Because remember, I didn't put my scar lines on there, how it's going to work. So I've got all these. Can you see how the lighter GSM is really going to benefit you? So if you've got two, I can bring those two together, and when you come together like that in the middle, it automatically folds together. So I'm going to bring that in as well. And then it's going to fold. And because I've already got that fold in there, it's going to come really together really easy for me. But all you tend to do is when you bring that next one, pop it in there and bring that one together. So let's bring that one up. So from that side, just sort of follow it up, and that zigzag, pop either your finger or a burnishing tool, just pop it in there, and it'll allow that zigzag really to just fall into place. And you're going to do the same. So I'm going to bring that up, I'm going to pop that zigzag in, and then this one on this side, I'm going to bring it. So I'm using my fingers underneath as well, together. Grab that side there, bring it across, and you can see mine's already popping in, but just sort of stick your nail in there or the end of your finger just to give it a burnish. And then I can bring this next one up. And can you see how you've got that lovely concertina going on? So again, bring that one up, fold it all the way across, pop that zigzag in, and then bring this one, and then just follow that all the way down. And what you've got is your concertina. So you can see how much easier it was for me to do it with those scar lines. So make sure you've got all your scar lines in there. And don't forget, it is going to fold round. So don't try to fold them into place and keep it flat. Allow it to go around that corner. And all you're going to do is you're just going to grab it there, bring it up, and that's going to want to pop in because you've got those scar lines there. Then you just bring that next one up, squeeze them together, and as you do, pop it in and then give it a good burnish. And it's going to follow all the way. When you get to putting your next side on, what's going to want to happen is this is going to you're going to want to hold it flat. Just remember not to hold it flat because this piece as well is going to go down there, and it's going to, you need to sort of turn it. And can you see how it's wanting to curve? So this is where you're going to sort of pull that back out again, just flatten it out a little bit. So when you've got, put some tape back on there. So when you've got, you can see how it curves. So you're really needing to manipulate it, and it's not hard to manipulate it. It just takes a little while to do because it's one of those where as soon as one pops in, one pops out. So let's pop some, I won't do the full thing. I'll just sort of show you. Try the bottom bit because I pulled it off earlier, didn't I? Now I've got a little bit of, come on. Wait a minute. Come here, you. Is that a good burnish? But when you've done that one side, you'll find it. Why do you not try you somewhere else? You will find it sort of does it itself. It just, as long as you've got all those scar lines in, it's not going to come off, is it? Right. So those scar lines are very important. As is trying to get your red liner tape, carry a sheet off. Try it here. Come on. Oh, there we go. Right, which are my scar sides? Let's use, it's, again, it's an absolute mess because I've just ripped this piece off, but pop it down. And when you are popping it down, because it's going to want to curve, as long as you've got your scar lines, this scar line going across, matching that one, you should be all right. So again, we've got that side already done. So I'm going to pinch that there. I'm going to bring it across. Because that's a valley here, this needs to be a mountain. So pop it. And remember, we need to be folding it. So as long as you're folding it, and pop those in. So bring that next one up. So that's going to pop down. So what I need to do is get those scar lines the other way. And that's a mountain, isn't it? So bring that mountain. And you're going to scar it. And can you see how it's going to come together? You just have to be patient with it. It takes those sort of top two are hard to go. Well, they're not hard. You just need to get that first one, and then it carries on. So as soon as you get that first one in, it will carry on down, sort of. You get sort of further down and it pops in very easy. So you sort of follow it round. Remember that it's a square. I've made a hash of the top, haven't I? I've ripped it a little, but exactly what I did there is what you're going to do. You're going to carry on doing it. It's going to go all, let me fold that way. It's going to go, obviously, all the way round. You add your fourth piece. Once you've done your second one, you're a pro at it, I promise. So it's just a bit fiddly to start with, squishing all these together. But once you've started and you're like, oh yeah, that's how you do it. And then you end up with this. And I think, to be honest, I think you're going to get sort of lots of crease marks and things like that. And I think it really works towards the project, because the bellows on obviously the old cameras, they were made out of a fabric. So they weren't perfect score lines and things like that. So I think it really does add to the effect. And then all I've done is I've just added some, I used a gold pen actually. If you've got your gilding waxes, you can use those, but I just edged it off with a gold pen. But it does. Can you see why I said I'm not going to do it all? Because it takes a while. You just have to be patient with it. But then once you're there, you've got a lovely camera front, really. Now this is just a 3x3. So for that bit, you need, let me just get my sizes. You need a piece of card for this. And I've doubled it. So what did I say? 7x7. 3, 4, 5. Yes. So get a piece of black card, 7x7, and you're going to score it at 1 and 2 inches, and you're just going to fold it like a normal box. If you want to see me do it, then I'll do one now. But 7x7 piece of card, score all 4 sides at 1 inch and 2 inch, and then you fold the sides up, and then you fold the sides in. So that's all. And again, all I've done is I've added that pen, the gold pen, onto there. And then, so we'll carry on with this bit. So this is the front. It's a bit plain. So what I decided to do was, it's entirely up to you what you do on the front, but I thought I'd add a couple of sort of the circle lens type bits. And this is the only time that I've used a die. So I showed you my circle die. So this particular one, it's about 2.5 by 2.5, and I've just decided, I got my dies out, decided how big I sort of wanted that on the front, and I was quite happy with that. So I'm going to pop that on, and with a smaller die, I've just cut a smaller circle. So let's just glue those together. So just black card, and then the pattern paper. And I love these ones because they've got that stitched edge. So again, it just adds that little bit of detail. Simply amazing, Michelle. It really is, and it comes together beautiful. You just have to be patient with it. So I would definitely recommend always having a practice. So maybe have a practice if you've got some copy paper, that obviously, because it's about 80 to 100 GSM, isn't it? So it's really easy to manipulate when you're putting it all together, to sort of think, oh yeah, that's where that bit needs to go, that's where that bit needs to fold. So yeah, have a practice with a bit of copy paper first, or some real thin paper. Well, I'm not counting my chickens, lol. It'll take me a year too. I would have a go, but it would be Christmas 26. It does take a while. Now, I saw on Pinterest, there's a woman, she's called, is it Bull de Scrap? I think she's French. And she showed you how to do it. I've got a piece here. In exactly the same way as that I've just shown you. So you've got all those concertinas, okay? So exactly the same. You've got all those concertinas, and I've got that score line here at the side. and I've got that scar line here. But what she did, from what I can tell with it being French, you know those zigzags that I've put, scarred. Now, what she did, and I'll just do it very quick. So all the measurements were the same and everything like that. But instead of those scar lines at the side, she sort of cut them away. So I'll just put a few more just to show you. So she cut them away. And then obviously you've got 4 of these. Now, she didn't glue them together at all. She got a square piece of card. So imagine this is, what is that, 2 inches, 2 inches by 2 inch. She glued one there. So imagine that you've cut that zigzag all the way down and that zigzag all the way down. She got a 2 by 2 piece of card, and obviously it would be a 4 by 4 at that side. She just glued that one on, and she brought this up all 4 sides as if you were making a box, and the zigzags sat in each other like that. So they sat sort of on the top. The ones at the side came up and sat in. None of it was glued together. So what you would probably need to do once they were all concertinas. So what she did on a few bits is she got a little bit of tape and just glued a couple of pieces together just in certain places, and she just put some gilding flakes on it. So all her bellows weren't attached at the sides at all. They were just in random places. The other zigzags came and sat like that. So it was open for the most part, and she had just a few bits of tape here and there holding them together. Now, that is the other way that you can do it. So easy. Exactly the same, but the zigzags down the side and then just sitting them together, and in a few places just adding a bit of glue or add some embellishments over the top, so like some flowers, so you're not going to see sort of the open bits. They were just attached at that side and that side. So just here and here they were attached. So yes, so that's the other way that I've seen. I haven't found another way yet, but I have been having a look. Right, so just my black circle pattern paper, and then what I've done is I've cut another circle smaller. Again, it's up to you how big you want it to be. Let's move that. And then I've got a piece of black card. Now this is 1 1/4 inch, and I've just cut it the length of my card, which is just 12 inch. So it's 12 inch by 1 1/4. I put 1/4 inch score line. You can't really see, can you? Well, you can. And then we're going to do those teeth. So just those zigzag teeth, they don't need to be in any particular size or shape, just as long as you've got that lovely zigzag all the way down. Because that one, what we're going to do is we're going to wrap it round here. So I've got like a faux camera lens. So either with your red liner tape or your wet glue, whichever's sort of easier for you. We're going to have a go with some red liner tape. See if that's a little bit quicker. So which is the inside? That's sort of the inside, isn't it? Actually, will my thicker one be better? Let's have a look. Yeah. No, I'm not going to be able to manipulate it as much. Let's use the thinner one. I mean, to be honest, I think if I wasn't doing it on a live, I would probably use a wet glue. Because the problem with using a wet glue is you just have to sit and hold it for a little while. When you're doing a live, it's sort of the last thing you want to be doing. Or if you've got finger lift tape, because that obviously manipulates around the corners a little bit better, doesn't it? So let's have another fight with a red liner tape. There we go. Let me take that all off. And then with that score line, we're going to fold. You've probably seen many of us do it many times. We're going to fold them all over, and we're going to whichever way you find easier. I'm going to hold mine up, and then sort of you're just going to go around the edge of that circle. Right. So I've used again my textured cardstock. This what I've used. It's a 200 GSM. Before you start doing that though, just get your bone folder and give it a good curve. It's just going to allow you to get it round that edge a lot easier. So this is all you're going to do. Again, if I was using wet, I'd have to hold sort of each little bit for a little bit longer. Because I'm using the red liner, I can do it a little bit quicker. And I think so. I mean, if you are never ever going to be able to do those bellows at all, you could still just put a tube on the front. So, a yeah, a tube, and just make it square. It doesn't necessarily have to be the bellows. You're still going to be able to get a lovely um, project made. Just it will look a little bit different. You could draw the lines round, um, sort of like faux bellows, and it make it look so. Do the tube, and then draw those lines on so it looks like you've got them there rather than you really do have them there. So there we go. I need to just glue that bit together, but can you see how easy that is to come together? Again, um, that one's just so easy to do. Or if you've got an old, toilet roll or kitchen roll, um, tube. There we go. Oh, I got a bit carried away with that, didn't I? Didn't look like any were coming out, and I give it a great big squeeze, and now I've got loads come out. Always the case, isn't it? Always the case. Let's get rid of some of that. Because I use the stitch, you can't really see, can you? It'll pick up better on pictures later. Because I've used that stitched edged circle die, it really, really just lends itself absolutely perfectly to sort of that camera lens at the front. Um, just making sure I'm not missing any uh, questions or anything. You're just all having a good chat. I will attempt it. I attempted my own card fold last night. Oh, very nice, Shannon. What kind of card fold was it? Honestly, I will definitely have a go. I don't know what it will look like. Definitely have a practice piece first, because if you're folding it and you're like, oh no, that's not supposed to fold that way. It's supposed to fold this way. It's not really going to matter. And then once you've got it all together, it's going to look awesome. You're going to feel very accomplished. Um, right. So some of my little teeth are a little bit big, so I'm just going to fold them back in just a little, squish them up. See if where's my, there it is. So I'm just going to press down, make sure that's all on that glue really, really well before I attempt to fold those back. There we go. So there we go. That's sort of my little camera lens for the front. I'm going to bring one of these. So I've just cut that. That's an inch. I've cut this just shy of an inch, and I'm just going to wrap that round. Again, just because it's the decoration. And it's going to hide that glue that came spilling out everywhere. I'm just going to hold that for a second. Add a little bit more too. Sure it goes all the way round. You can tell when someone's concentrating because they start to talk quieter and quieter, don't they? Um, has Diane gone? I have to go. Right, see you later, Diane. Thank you so much for joining. It's a hot mess. It's one of those tower cards, but with 3 small towers, and it's long. The tower fold card. 3 small towers, a long card, 2 spaced apart, I think. I love tower fold. I love a good tower fold card, I've got to say. Yeah, but you see, the thing is, you still had a go, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? Having a go. There we go. Right, so that's going to sit on there. Now, what I could have done is added the dinosaur teeth to the other side. So this is going to sit on there. Um, I haven't done that. If you want to do that, then you absolutely can. But what because I haven't put them on, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do it now because my hot glue gun's not plugged in. I'm going to pop a little bit of glue, hot glue, round there, and then you're going to sit it on and you're going to hold it for a second, and then it's going to take. So it doesn't matter that I haven't put the dinosaur teeth on the other side. So that is, if I bring this in, what's going to sit on the front there. And then straight away, it's coming together really lovely. So I'm going to pop that to the side because obviously we've got the back piece to do. So this is it's a 6x6 box. I will show you how I popped it together in a minute. This is going to sit in here. Now it's a 6x6, so it was a little bit too big for what I wanted. I could bring it back right up into the middle and have it coming out that way. But again, because I was looking at the pictures of the cameras, it tended, the ones that I looked at, this was lower down and there was more space at the top. So we're going to glue that further down rather than up or in the middle, which means I've got a lot of space there. I don't want all that open space. So what we're going to do is, again, it's just a box base or a box lid that we're going to bring in. So for this, if you want to make it out of card, you need a piece of card, 10 by 10. Let me bring this in for you. Because my sides are 1.5 inches. So get a piece of card, 10 by 10, score at 1/2 inch and 1.5 inch all the way round. Because then what it allows you to do, it allows you to have those sides, but then fold it in. So your box side is going to come up and then we're going to fold it over. So what it does is it gives you that really nice folded over edge rather than the edge of your card. So again, if you want me to see me do that, then I will absolutely do that. But I think you all know what I mean, don't you? So you've got your cards coming up, and then with that extra score, it's just going to go down. And instead of having that raw edge, you've got a folded over side, which looks so much nicer. I did this one with mount board. So what I did is I got a piece of mount board at 6x6, and my sides are all 6 inches by 1.5 inch high. Now this, again, this is going to be a little bit fiddlier for those who don't use mount board. So I'm just going to show you very quickly when I find Oh, there it is. When I find some of my background papers. So again, let me move those to the side. We're going to glue it in like this. Okay, we're going to leave a tiny little bit of space here and here. So let's put glue on these. Just right, so let me pop that down before I explain what I'm doing. So I've got 12 by 12 piece of card. Really, you should glue the 6 by 6 piece down. So let's glue that one down first. And I want it in the middle, or as near as makes a difference in the middle, because I need enough paper to cover this. But can you see how I've got some left that's going to fold over? So just put a nice thin, not like when we're making an album, it needs to be thinner than that. It literally just needs the tiniest gap between your sides and the base. So again, just the tiniest gap. Right, so I'm just going to give them a second to sort of go off. I'm not good with measuring correctly. Michelle, you make it look so easy. I think the hardest thing is taking your time with it. You have to take your time with it. And you've seen me fold things and open them and fold them and open them like a million times just to double check, triple check in my own head that I'm getting it right. And I think that's where we tend to go wrong because we stick it and then we're like, oh, poo. Acetate as a camera lens. Oh yeah, I never thought about that. I just go for it and see how it turns out. But you see, that works as well because you either end up creating something fabulous or you're going to learn along the way what not to do. Right, so I've got those stuck down. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring that up. And because I've got that tiny little bit of a gap, it's going to come up absolutely beautifully. So I'm just going to tease those into place just for a second. I'm not going to commit to cutting anything because then what we're going to do, let's do these two sides. On these two sides, so again, let's stand that up and fold that. Give it a good burnish against that edge. Okay, from the inside out, so it doesn't go on the one. Okay, so I've burnished it there. I'm not going to do anything else yet because I want to do the other side. So I'm going to lift it up. And again, we're going to tease that over. Because it's going to come over and that's what's going to give us that nice clean edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim. Can you see how I'm doing it at an angle? I'm just leaving myself a little bit of extra just in case. She says, and she puts it short. It doesn't matter. So what is going to happen now? Obviously, I need to trim that a little bit shorter. So I'm going to bring in my craft knife. And this is another one. You just take your time with it. So let's trim that away because it's going to fold over. Now, I left myself extra bits just to be on the safe side. So let's do the same at this side. So those two opposite sides, we're just going to leave that top bit. So we're going to bring it over. and it's going to be absolutely perfect. So these, let me just trim away there, just allows you to see it a little bit better. Now, of course, you don't have to decorate your box like this. This is just me showing you how I got such a sort of clean box. Because once your sides are up, you can see that your box is coming together. Now we need to figure out how to cut the other sides. So what we need to do is this side, we need to leave these bits here because we're going to trim right down the edge there. So you can see now I can bring that up and wrap it round like a normal box. So my side is up and I can bring this up and I can bring it round. And can you see how it gives me, obviously, my clean edge? Obviously, that needs trimming down a lot. So let's straighten that up a little bit. And that one. Trim down the edge. So that's going to stand up lovely. Now this is going to come up and it's going to come round. So obviously it needs tidying up a little bit. So you can bring it round like that. And obviously you don't get those edges there, you see. Right, so I'm going to bring it back up because I need to just measure. So if I can stand it like that, what I can do is I can measure this. I know exactly where to sort of cut it off. So I'm just going to trim there with my craft knife. And then I'm going to bring this in and let's trim that off. And I'm going to make that smaller and nice and straight. So it's just like the tabs. So that side's going to come up. This is going to come up as well. That is going to wrap round. Let's trim that straight. So I'm doing it a little bit at a time to show you sort of how it's going to come together. So like we did those other two sides, let's bring that over. And that I've got my tab right there. And it just gives you that lovely, nice finish. So let's do exactly the same on this side. Let's finish that side. Let's create that tab first. So lining this up with my mount board, we're going to cut straight out. We're going to cut straight down there because that's going to create our tab for us. And we're going to cut that away. So can you sort of see how it's coming together? This is your mount board. It's very much like a box. And it is a box. But because we're using mount board, we're a little bit more wary of how to sort of pop it together. So let's take it away. I'm going to bring it in. Let's create a lovely little tab. And then I don't know why I keep forgetting to cut that bit off. And then the same here. So you've got your tab there, two tabs there. Let's tidy that one up. And let's oh yeah. I thought I'd done it wrong then. So again, pop that in there. Let's trim that down. And then this is what you've again, I don't know why I keep forgetting those bits. There we go. Let me straighten these as well. I don't need that much sort of poking out of the side. There we go. So this is what you've got. If you was going to cut this out of cardboard, you would do exactly the same. So I said you need a 6-inch base, 1.5 inch at the side, and then that 1/2 inch at the top. I know mine's a little bit bigger, but it's exactly the same. So you're going to bring this up. You can either glue that on the inside, your tab, or you can glue it around the outside. It's entirely up to you. So if you glue that up and round, just like if you did that box, it's exact hiccup, sorry. See, I've been talking too much, I've got the hiccups again. It's exactly the same as a box. You've got your tabs that are going to glue here and here, and then these pieces are going to glue over. This is going to glue over to give you that lovely nice edge. Obviously you will measure yours a little bit or cut yours a little bit straighter than I have mine. I'm just trying to do it a little bit quicker, just so you can sort of see where I'm going. So entirely up to you if you want to glue that on the inside or glue it on the outside. But it's going to come together exactly the same. I need 3 more hands now, don't I? As a normal box. Yeah, I'm not going to glue it all down because you don't want to see me gluing that again. So that is how I created this outside box. And then for the inside box, all I did is I just got 4 pieces of mount board. So let me bring one in. I got 4 pieces of mount board, 2 inches high by 6 inches wide. Because it's going inside, you're going to trim these as you go. So if you've got a piece of mount board and you pop it in, if it's a little bit too long, then just trim a tiny little bit off, because when it's going in this outside box, it is going to be that little bit smaller than 6 inches wide. One of them isn't, but then the others sort of are, because you're going to sit one like that, and then one will sit like that, and then one will sit like that. So you're going to trim just a slither off. And then all I did, because all I needed to do was I just folded some and glued some paper, pattern paper, whichever you're using, over the top, popped it in, glued it to the side, because that's all I needed to do. So just pop it in, glue it to the side, and what it does, it gives you that lovely edge again. So it's just about cleaner edges, because they're all sort of going to be on display. And that is how I got that box. So that's how I've got that lovely double. You can do exactly the same with just card. So if you were cutting your card to, let me have a look, 10 by 10. So cut your card, 2 pieces of card, one 10 inches by 10 inches, score at a 1/2 inch and then 1.5. So that's your 1.5, and then your 1/2 inch is what will fold in the middle. To get this box on the inside, there's 2 ways you can do it. So it's literally, if you've got a scoreboard that does a box lid and a box base, don't want to come out, does it? You can do it that way, which is how I've done this. Obviously, it's a lot bigger than this. This was a practice piece. So if you put them together like that, wait a minute, didn't want to go in. You've got a normal box, okay? But if you do it the other way and sit what would be the base in the other way, and then just bring it out a little, and then it gives you that double edge, exactly like this. But this is with mount board. Obviously, you're going to put some pattern paper on, and that gives you your double edge on this as well. So you can do it with card, or you can do it with mount board. It's entirely up to you. But the measurements that I give you, the 10 by 10, is going to give you this size. This is just huge. I don't know what I was thinking with that. So yes, you can do it with card or with mount board. It's entirely up to you. I just want to check, make sure that I'm not missing any questions. Oh, Sheena's Inkettes recently posted some fantastic faux papers. Ooh. Exciting. Oh, is Teresa gone? Has she gone to work? Um, may every day bring you a bit of whimsy. I like that. We'll need to watch again. I've been supervising my daughter making our dinner. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, obviously it's going to be there, isn't it, for you to go back and watch. Sorry, I have to go and run also. Oh, I'll let you off, Shannon. Very clever, Michelle. Thank you very much. So again, you can do it with mount board, or you can do it with CAD. You can do it all with CAD. You can do it all with mount board. You can mix and match. So this is going to be my base. This is what's going to sit in there. But it's all open. So this is where I've brought a piece of card in. Now let me just measure it. I cut it at 7 5/8 by 7 5/8. Now the reason it's the 1 inch and 1 inch, obviously, so it's 5 5/8 because it needs to sit in here. So it needed to be smaller than the 6 inches. So again, it's just a card, just a box base or a box lid. So very, very simple to sort of put together. I'll trim these edges away on my corners so I can fold it together. So this card that I'm using is what I was saying I bought off of, can't remember, it might have been Amazon, to be honest. It's a 350 GSM, which I'm loving, but the edges do tend to crack on it, even if I score them both ways. So I don't think I'll get it again. I love the fact that it was a 350 GSM, but I don't think I'll get it again purely because it keeps cracking. Right, so just a piece of pattern paper. I've cut it down to fit. Just again, a tiny slither off each edge. And we're going to pop this on. Oh, we're not going to pop it on yet. Oh, we're not going to pop it on yet because obviously I need to create a hole in the front for them to go in. So let's cut a hole out of this. I don't need the back to fit through, so it doesn't need to be as big as that. I just need to make sure that it's going to sit in there. And can you see how I've got a nice space at the top that I was saying? So I'm going to leave about 1/2 inch at the bottom. So about 1/2 inch up, I'm going to cut my hole. And then that leaves me about 1.5, 2 inches there, which is what I wanted. I don't want it right in the middle. So I'm going to come in with this ruler. And I said it before, haven't I? I love it because you've got those 1/2 inch increments on there. So lining that purple line up with the edge of my box, I'm going to bring in my pencil. And I'm just going to put a pencil line. Oh, you can see it. That's brilliant. And the same at this side. We're going to do a 1/2 inch line. How far did I say I wanted to go? Let's have a look. I think oh yes, I was going to do it 4 by 4. So I'm going to cut a 4 inch. You can use your dies, of course you can. But I'm going to cut in a 4 inch hole. And I'm just, now I'm going to cut 3.5 inches first. So 3.5 inches up, and I'm going 4 inch wide. Let's do that. 5. Do you know, you have the light above you so you can see what you're doing, and then it reflects and you can't see what you're doing. So you can see the square that I've sort of drawn out. I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to make sure that I'm sort of happy that it's going to sort of fit through there. And then what I'm going to do is we're just going to cut this out. So either with your craft knife, cut the whole thing out, or if you find it easier, go from each corner into the middle, because you don't need to be perfectly straight or anything like that. And then you can bring your scissors in, just trim it away a little bit at a time. So if you're not brilliant with your craft knife, this is the way to do it. Actually, what you can also do is you can bring, oh no, I tell you what'll be easier. Bring this in. So your little spongy mat, get your scoring tool, bring your ruler back in along that line, and let's give it a score. Let's give it a good score. Because it's a 350, it's a little bit harder to cut through with just my craft knife. So let's if we finish all those, it means I can just bend them a little bit. So then when I come in with my scissors, I can get right up to that scar line and trim it away. There we go. There we go. And then again, just down there, in that corner. Oh, went a little bit wonky. There we go. So trim that bit straight, and then I can bring that in, pop it in, and it's going to sit lovely in there. It's a bit of a mess. So what did I do with my piece of paper? Oh, it's here. Because it's that bit of a mess, we're going to pop paper over it and fold it. And we're going to fold it under, and obviously I'm going to show you how to do it. And then what that does is it ties it in with everything else that I've sort of been doing. So there we go. So I don't need to worry about those pencil lines because they're going to be covered up. I know I didn't need to glue in the middle because obviously turning it over, you can see that there's that hole there now. We're going to do exactly the same with that as I've just done. So we're going to bring in your craft knife right from that corner. It's not very cut on that, eh? Again, just into the middle. And then we only need a small piece to fold over. So get rid of those. And then you can just, again, tease that over. And what you've got is a lovely, nice finished edge then. So bring this in, give it a good burnish. And the same with this, just sort of tease it off and fold it over. And again, let's get that underneath. Give it a good burnish. There we go. And then it's just going to make it easier. Put all those to fold. Just trim that down. Now I don't need to worry about this side looking a mess because it's going to be glued shut, so I'm not going to see it. So I don't need to worry about those being great. So again, glue. So it's just glued itself shut. There we go. As always, make sure you've got glue right up to that edge. You don't want it to sort of bubble away. If you know what I mean by that. Love this tutorial. After I watch it, I will try and make one. Yeah, I mean, again, it is going to take you a little while because you have to be patient with certain bits. But I'm saying very achievable. I know sort of Lynn says that she struggles, which is why I sort of said you can create the other two sort of ways you can create the bellows, definitely. So you can see now from this side, which way's the right way up? That's way, isn't it? So we're gonna, again, just a box lid or a box base. Let's glue it together. And then we can pop it in. Toodle pits. Off to that place I loathe. Oh, are you off to where? Um, gosh, I love my work. I was feeling, I think I've got a bit of a cold. I was feeling a little bit off earlier. And I said to Ben, I said, oh, I don't know if I sort of feel up to it. And he says, well, see how you go. And as soon as I got crafting, I forgot all about my headache. Felt so much better and was just so excited to be sort of doing the project and bringing it together. I've had many jobs that I don't like, I must admit. Although you did work in a chocolate factory for one, like, for like a nanosecond. I think I only worked there about 6 months. That'd be working in a chocolate factory when you're a chocolate addict. There we go. So I'm just going to use those pegs just to hold my sides together for now. But it is going to fit. Obviously, it's not going to fit yet with my pegs on there. And then this is going to go on the front. So again, you can see that it's coming together really lovely. So let me just pop that to the side for a second. Because to be honest, I think that's, oh no, it's not it. I needed, let me see if I can find that picture again. Is it on here? It's not on this particular one, but some of these that you get, when the bellows and the camera come out of the back, there's a little stand underneath. It's just like a U shape of card. I think I will have a break from folios. Why not? The thing is, I'm going to show you in a minute, you can have enough space in the back to have an album in there if you want. Or there's a particular one where there's this base, you can have an album in the base. But it's not showing you on that one. So let me see if I can find it on my phone for you, because you're going to be able to see. It has this little stand on the bottom. What did I search for? I think I searched for bellows camera. I did bellow camera. Oh, there we go. Let me see. Oh, it's on Etsy. Here. Can you see that little stand that's at the bottom? So obviously that's just a little one piece of metal. But there's a little stand underneath, because that flap used to come down, your camera would come out, and then obviously you could fold it back up. We're not going to go to those lengths with this camera that we're making. We're just going to put like a little, some of them had just that, like that little piece that you just saw then. Some of them had like a little U shape type thing. So I know that that's gone all the way in, but I'm going to glue it, obviously, here to the top. And then this is going to sit in, and then that's sort of my camera coming together. So you can have this as far out as you want. You can have it sort of the same depth as that. You can have it, again, this is sort of a final design choice. So you can have it sort of poking out as much as you want. I haven't really decided on how far out I want mine. I suppose it depends. So if I stand it on its side for you to see, it depends on if you just want to sort of pop one of those in there. So we're just going to pop that one in for now. And I think that's quite a nice size. Or if you want to glue it all the way to the back, you're not going to have so much coming out, but then if you glue it all the way to the back, you've got the ability to bring it in, have a fold up bit if you want. Well, I've just give myself 3 different ideas. Did you hear them sort of go ping, ping, ping in my brain? So again, that's a finishing design. Um, yeah, finishing design, just depending on how you want to create that. So I'm gonna have mine just a little bit out. Really need to plug in my glue gun. So bear with me a second. I'm not organised, am I? Oh, bear with me. One in, one out, boom, out. So my hot glue gun. Um, right, so that's what I was saying, wasn't I? Because turn that on its side. When I've got that in there, this piece here isn't as low down. So that's where you're going to pop a little bit of a stand on. So when it comes out, it's not going to sort of sag forward. It's going to stay nice and straight. So you can see what I mean. We need to lift it up. So we know this was 1/2 inch. So I think I only need it 1/2 inch. And again, it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. I'm going to get a piece of my black card. And again, this is sort of a finishing design feature. You can have this as thick or as thin if you want, but mine is 1/2 inch. No, it's 1 inch. So we're going to cut this down to 3/4 of an inch. Put that to the side. Running out of room. I've got mess everywhere. um, just checking that I've not um, missed anything. I struggle with a lot, Michelle. I'll never be able to make the bellows though, sadly. Let me have a play with a box, like a tube. It's not going to be the bellows, but we're going to make it so it's smaller at one end and wider at the other. And we can either add some gold, like a gold pen, like a highlighter pen to sort of give you faux bellows. Let me have a play with that. And if you can just make a box, then you're going to be able to make what I will do. What was I doing? Right. So measure the width of this. It's 3 inches. So scoreboard. So I don't think this is a particular length. It's just the length of my A4 card at the minute. So I'm going to score a 1/2 inch and then 1 inch. So straight away, if I show you what I'm doing, that's going to be the height. And that's going to be the little glue tab that's going to glue underneath there. So this doesn't want to be any longer than the 3 inches. So you can do it as wide as this or just a little bit shorter. I'm going to do it a little bit shorter. So we're going to go 2.5 inches. So we're scoring at 1/2, 1.5, 4, 5, and then we're going to cut it down to 5.5. So let's trim that. So that's what it's going to look like. So again, it's 1 inch wide. We scored at 1/2 inch, 1.5, 4, and 5, and it's 5.5 inches long. So give those a bit of a better burnish. It's going to sit underneath like that. So let's get that glued on. And I'm not going to decorate this bit with any papers. Because it's what would have been sort of the stand. So I don't think I'm going to decorate it. Obviously, you can. Right. You know that I'm going to glue this in upside down now, don't you? So let me just bring that in a little bit. Right, concentrate, Michelle. There we go. You're just going to hold those for a second. Can you hear my phone? Shall I answer it? It's the grandson. Right. I'm live. Right. There's my little grandson. Oh, he's getting ready for bed. Look at him. Oh, I love you. I'll speak to you later. Bye. Oh, his first live appearance. Yes, I know. Like, do you know what? They ring me every day, and obviously the little boy, obviously Theo doesn't. We call him Bean. Um, but Joseph will ring me, or Lily will ring us every day. So if I don't see him, I still get to speak to him, which is absolutely, I love it. I absolutely love it. So can you see how that's going to sit? I'm just waiting for my glue gun to um, heat up enough to put this together, but you can see it's not sagging down now because I've got that lovely stand on the bottom. It's giving me that support that I need. So is my glue gun hot enough? I think so. Oh, how cute. Oh, he's so beautiful. He really is. He's like the most perfect thing I've ever seen, except for obviously my own children. But I'm going to use my glue gun to stick this in. You can use obviously your wet glue if you want. But I'm going to just for a little bit of speed. Hopefully it doesn't um, dry before I get all the way around. Right, let's give it a go. Did it lock? Now I'm not too worried. Oh, that I've got glue sort of seeping over. I did know it would happen with the hot glue because I'm gonna embellish. I'm gonna decorate. So the little bits that you can sort of see, you're not going to be able to see once I've finished with my decorations. Obviously, oh, if you're a bit more worried about that, then you go with your wet glue and just again, I'm just trying to be a little bit quicker. There we go. So there we go. So I'm quite happy with that. It's roughly about half an inch above. It almost gives you that faux um, feeling of a camera just by those three pieces there, doesn't it? And then what did I say? The bottom, the thinner bit. So yeah, we're going to tuck that in there. You're going to decide if you want to glue it all the way to the back or have it glued so it stays out. I don't know. Really think I want to glue it all the way to. Do I want to glue it? Do we want to glue it all the way to the back? But again, I think that's the sort of a final decision for you, because for now, I really don't have to. I can leave it like that because it's standing there really nice for me at the minute while I decide on what I want to do. So if I want to glue it so it's staying out like that, all I'm going to do is again, I'll add a little bit of hot glue round the edge. I think that's quite a nice sort of depth out, isn't it? I think I'm quite happy with that. So we're sort of looking, if I bring So that is the one that I want to be in line with this. So bringing it round to the bottom, I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue just there because it's going to sit over there. So let's put some hot glue on there. I'm going to bring this in and just making sure that it's even. Excuse me if you see my head, which I think it is. You can sort of, as near as makes the difference in the middle. I'm going to let this go off at the bottom first before I pop that side in. Got hot glue all over me now. Yep, I like it out, Angela. Yeah, I do. I absolutely do. So then I just need to tuck that bit under. So and just tuck it under. And I'm going to put some hot glue just along there. I've got a really long string of it. So lift it, tilt it forward just a little bit. And then just gonna just sitting on that lip of that hole, and that little bit of glue is gonna stick. Just gonna hold it for a second. And then there we go. So if I lift it to the side, you can see I've got that lovely little stand. Lift it to the front. Look at that. Oh, where's my? I forgot about this, haven't I? I've got my glue gun on now. So let's pop that on there. Let me just use some wet glue. So line that up in the middle. Reminds me of a Jack in the Box. Yeah, absolutely. Lindsay Gibson, gonna have to rewatch tomorrow. I've been busy tonight and I've just managed to pop on for 5 minutes. Your grandson is adorable. Well, I'm glad you managed to pop on for the best bit. Right, so this is gonna go on top. I need to make sure that my seam is at the bottom. So remember, we use the teeth to attach that side to, and I haven't put teeth on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some hot glue round that edge and it's going to stick. So let me move that. And again, don't worry if it doesn't go all the way round. Don't worry if a little bit comes out. For me, I'm going to be decorating it. So if you see a little bit of the hot glue, I'm not too bothered because I want to put something round that edge. Or if you get glue somewhere, if you've got a big splodge of hot glue coming out, then that's just the perfect opportunity to to add an embellishment, isn't it? I really love it. I really love it. So I am gonna, again, I've got some hot glue there. It's gonna have some embellishments. I've got some chain. It's just jewelry maker's chain. And you can sort of have that coming from here to here. So it makes it look like, or I know very quickly, let me just show you what I mean. Let me bring just a piece of card. Now, I'm just going to show you with a piece of card, but you could make a thin box for the base that would just be obviously the width of it. Because some of them have that base that comes out. So you can push that back in and it would close it up, or just to sit it on a base. So if you wanted to sit it on a box that would be this big, so let's measure it. If you wanted to sit it on a box, so it would roughly be 9 by 6 with the box. that could be the base of the camera, like a decorative base. It could open up and you could have a little album in there. You could have some little cards in there. You could have pictures of the kids in there. But you can still squish it in and out if you want. I'm really happy with how that came sort of, especially since I'd not put it together before. I've not done one before. I'm really happy with that. Really happy. What do you think? Do you think you will give it a try? I know some of you minus this won't be giving it a try, but yeah, I think it looks. I'm really happy with it. And I'm actually quite happy that you got to go sort of through the process with me as well, sort of breaking it down a little bit. But yeah, so I'm going to decorate this afterwards. How long have we been here? Nearly an hour and 40 minutes. So I will decorate this all up and I will get it posted. I'll post it here. I'll do a little short on YouTube as well of the finished project so you can see it if you're only on YouTube. I'll pop it over onto my Pinterest page as well. And obviously it's going to go on Facebook and Instagram. And sometimes I post things on TikTok. Problem with TikTok is I've got about 10 Brad Pitts. I've got about 13 Keanu Reeves following me. I've got some Jason Momoas. You name it, I've got them following me. So I'm not the biggest fan of TikTok. It can be great, but it's a bit of a pain as well, isn't it? But yeah, so I'm loving that. It's awesome, Make Michelle. You are such a clever clog. Thank you very much. I'm really going to try this. I will rewatch and work after I get all the parts. That's it. You can see breaking it down. We've got boxes at the back. We've got boxes at the front. You saw how easy it was to just create the circle with a strip of paper and sort of the circled eyes. Look at you, Hazel. If only it was the real ones following me. Um, it disheartens you though, doesn't it? Because you're putting your crafty stuff on there, and more people following you than not are not crafty people. They're just those weird people who message you and say, "How are you doing today?" And it's like, no. So yes, so this is I'm going to decorate it. We're going to post it everywhere. I will definitely pop on the different way to do the bellows. Obviously, then it's not going to concertina closed, but you're still going to be able to create this amazing project with minus obviously you not being able to do the fiddliest bit. But again, if I bring it in, I know I've flattened it out, but it is simple to do because once you've got all those score lines in there, they just squash together. Lovely. It's just about popping one up and one down, one up and one down. And when you get there, you've sort of got it. But again, that's sort of the hardest bit. And again, I know it's not hard with regards to physically hard. It's a bit fiddly hard. So again, I'm going to show you a different way. I'll work on that. We'll create a different bellow for the front. So I'm going to decorate. Look at the mess. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for nearly 2 hours. But I'm really glad that you are liking the project. I need to put it back that way because I love that view of it. Again, I'm going to decorate it up. Oh, I was talking about chains, wasn't I? Probably have a bit of chain going from there to there. Again, give you that faux effect of some of the cameras back in the day. There's probably going to be some flowers popped on here, definitely. But I'm really glad that you all liked it. So I'm going to let you all go. Look at you. I'm sure I can do this. I love it. Do you know what, Betty? You probably can. I've obviously we've been chatting, and you are like an art expert with what you've said that you've done in the past, and you were doing. So I'm sure that this is going to be easy peasy for you, definitely. I'll watch that bit again and do practice runs for the concertina. Practice runs are absolutely the most important bit, definitely. Have a good practice run with a real lightweight paper. because it doesn't matter then if you sort of mess it up a little bit, but it's going to just by that is one of the things that you need to do it to get what you're doing, if that makes sense. Um, so yeah, and the thing is you can rewatch it again and again and again, definitely. Um, you could make an accordion with boxes either end. Do you know what, Angela? One of the projects that I've seen that I really want to do, so I was playing about with this, and it is what are those music things called, that you should do that with? What are they called? You know what I'm on about, don't you? So it had a box at the front and a box at the back, but instead of bellows like this, it had just lots of, you know, when I've made my album before and it opens out like that and it's got all the envelopes, an accordion. Um, so it's got lots of the envelopes, so you can squash it together to close it. And obviously it doesn't it close. So you've got box to box and then all your sort of envelopes in the middle. And it looked beautiful. And again, I think I saw that on Pinterest and I thought, I'm going to have to do one of those. So it was fastened together with some chain. You opened the chain and it opened out and it was beautiful. And obviously a lot easier because it hasn't got those bellows in the middle. Nicola will have a go after some practice. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing everyone's cameras with or without those bellows in the. I need to, sorry, that is my favourite view of it. Yes, so I want to see my page flooded with either questions on how to do it or your own cameras, definitely. If I can do it, and I don't have any patience at all, then you guys can definitely do it. Um, but keep your eyes peeled for the different box that I'm going to show you, and then it means that everyone can do it. Then you've got no excuse for not sharing your projects with me. Right, no, I know I said it, but I am going to let you go this time. Thank you for joining me. So don't forget, the likes and the shares and the comments mean just as much as you go in and buy my papers. These tutorials aren't about my papers; they're about just the project with whatever papers that you've got. So if you want to post on the group page and you've not used my papers, it doesn't matter. Even if it was a little bit inspired by something I've done, then please post it because we all get inspired by each other, don't we? But yeah, all the likes, the shares, absolutely love them. So I'm going to let you go. Thank you all so much. Thank you all for the wonderful comments that you've been popping on there. Really, very much appreciated. I best bring this in, Anna, because I need this to go. So, if you have got any questions, you know where I am. Pop me an email or a message on any of my socials, and I will definitely get back to you. But I'm going to go get my tea. Thank you so much. Love you all and appreciate you so much. And I will see you next time. Oh, oh. No, yes. I thought I had something to tell you, but it's gone. So thank you very much. I will see you all later.